Flying into Barcelona airport, the view of the city is actually quite impressive. Being so close to the water, you can see why it was such an important port during ancient times. Barcelona is the capital and the largest city of the autonomous region of Catalonia. It's also the second most populous municipality of Spain. Barcelona is also one of the most densely populated cities in Europe. The name Barcelona may come from an ancient Iberian coin called a barquino, if I'm saying that correctly. The inscription with the name was written in Iberian script. There are also a couple of other legends on how Barcelona got its name. One of them was attributed to the Greek hero Hercules. The second was that Hannibal's father actually named the city after his family name Barcino. Again, if I'm saying that correctly. But this is in the 3rd century, and there's really no historical or linguistic evidence that this ever really happened. However, there is evidence that there was a settlement here long before that time. They found tombs and dwellings that date back earlier than 5000 BC. Around 15 BC, the Romans used the town as a Roman military camp, usually referred to as a castrum. The city was then conquered by the Visigoths after the fall of Rome around the 5th century. And for a few years, it was the capital of all Hispania. Barcelona, like much of Spain, was conquered by the Moors around the 8th century. Then in 801, Charlemagne's son, Louis, drove them out. He then made Barcelona the seat of the Carolingian dynasty. For those of you who are Dan Brown fans and readers of the Da Vinci Code, that name will sound familiar. The Vikings also had their turn at Barcelona. They attacked it once and killed almost every man, woman, and child in the city. They actually then came back for a second attack, but most of the people who had survived the first attack actually never came back. In the 20th century, Barcelona also didn't do too well during the Spanish Civil War. It was one of the last strongholds of the Republican forces during the Civil War. When the city finally did fall to Franco's forces, they paid a high price for it. They lost all of their autonomy and were pretty much ignored for any help in rebuilding the city. However, once Franco died and things began to turn around, Barcelona started to spring back. Walking around the city, you can actually see some of the leftovers of the ancient Roman walls. Some of them are actually inside some of the newer buildings being reused. One of the main walking areas, not just for tourists, but also for the locals, is a place called Las Ramblas. It's a walking area with a lot of open-air vendors, buildings that you can see, a variety of architecture. And as you walk straight down there, you actually end up at the Columbus Monument down by the waterfront. The only thing that you have to watch for in the La Ramblas area is that their pickpockets have actually raised that crime to an art form. Along the route is a huge indoor food area where you can find pretty much anything there you would like to eat, and maybe a few things there that you're not sure you should eat. After the death of Franco and a new democratic constitution went into effect, Barcelona regained its autonomy, but still remains part of Spain. However, there are those who still wish to totally break away. The waterfront area has been transformed from pretty much a slum dock area to an upscale, high-priced neighborhood. They even have cable cars that go over the harbor in case you'd like to take a bird's eye view tour. There's a lot of artwork as you walk around the city, but I got to admit, some of it I just don't get. Barcelona, like most of Spain, is an extremely Catholic country, and there are a lot of magnificent churches with a lot of artwork. The week that we were there happened to be Holy Week, which was Easter week, and for them it is a full week. They have processions that run through the street for up to 12 hours during the day. Some of them start at 3 in the afternoon and can go till 4 in the morning. If you visit, always support street musicians. In medieval times, people used to come here and sharpen their knives, overlooked by the unicorn. Because of it being Holy Week, all the schools were closed and there were 1 million kids around, as well as a lot more people coming into the cities because of the processions. The Sagrada Familia was designed by the Catalan architect Antoni Gaudí. In 1882, the construction was started, and it's not expected to be completed until 2026. Needless to say, he will not see the completion. There are small memorials throughout the city for those who gave their lives fighting for Spanish democracy. There are orange trees everywhere, even in the cities. Not a whole lot to say about this.